Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody to tonight's special presentation. I want to thank everyone for coming. We're going to be getting into some information tonight regarding a very important case that's very active and developing as we speak. And that's the Gernon case out of Texas. I'm glad a lot of you are here to join us tonight to do a special video surveillance walkthrough, analysis, and review. There's been a lot of commentary on this case so far as to the video surveillance footage. And tonight we're going to be covering that information in a first step of a three-step phase. Going to be breaking this down into parts. Tonight will be part one, just getting into it. Part two will cover the additional video surveillance that was taken, and also the actual walkthrough that was given to us by the Daily Mail that we watched Cameron Morey give us during the time of his interview. So I welcome you all tonight. Hopefully we can keep this on a time-sensitive basis. I am looking to turn this information into independent videos so that this way they can be shortened from the live portion. And so with that said, welcome everybody. Mrs. Weaver, Miss Nay, Linda Gonzalez, Donna Whitmack, Diamond Star, Mary Langlos. I hope I said that right. Sweet Pea, Wise Old Lady, Vanessa Jones, moderating tonight. Welcome, welcome, love. Thank you for coming in. Anthony McNeil, how you doing, brother? Welcome. Sherry Cohen, welcome. There's going to be a bunch of us here in here tonight. I've been chatting with a number of content creators who are covering the Gernon case. They have been doing an excellent job in covering a lot of information, far deeper than what we're going to get into. I'm just going to specialize in one part, and that is walking everyone through the video surveillance footage. There's been a lot of commentary on that. A lot of mixed commentary since the story broke May 15th of this year. So I just want to give a happy big shout out to the chat room tonight for all that are cut away from their time, whether it be family time or personal time or regular leisure time, to join John Q in tonight's special presentation. Welcome. Carmela Bellanzano, welcome. CJ Jones, welcome. Mary H, welcome. And we are expecting, hopefully, some additional content creators to join us this evening. I want to break this into three parts. Like I said, we're going to be covering some information to get everybody ready. If you have a notebook or a writing utensil, a pad or something that's beside you, great, because you're going to need it. So if you do not have something to write with, we'll give a couple of minutes for that, because this requires some homework. This does require homework. And everyone participating in tonight's live is just as important as an investigator to this case than a spectator. Wookie Woo, welcome. Mary Martins, welcome. Miss MTGV TV, Miss V, welcome. Glad that you guys can make it. I know that AB, good buddy, I call him the brother from upstairs, has had a live going on and everything, and he also knows that I'll be doing this special presentation regarding the video surveillance walkthrough tonight. A lot of you have taken a look at that surveillance footage and have seen a lot of different things. The clarity, people involved, what you saw, how you saw it, things that were going on. What time could this video have been shot? Why does it appear to look the way it does? Etc., etc. In addition to, obviously, the event that took place in the body of the video. And all of that information is important. But to break it down and to get a sense as to who is in this video. Well, we know the kids are in the video, but a lot of folks have been trying to identify the intruder who breached the home of Monica Sherrod, Cameron Murray, and the rest of the family and individuals that were there in that home on the morning of May 15th. And so with that said, we have a lot to cover. Your input tonight is going to be very valuable. I hope to, at the end of the live, maybe go into some Q&A, and we're going to be doing that over the next several lives. This will be cut into 3 independent lives because someone asked me to do this. Absolutely. So with that said, I'm going to be getting into some specifics. I call them attitude and specifics. I'm going to need your help. So if everyone has got a pencil and paper, I'm going to ask you to ride along with me tonight because I'm going to need you to be co-investigator of a crime scene. And this scene is what we're going to be taking a very careful, hard look at for the evidence to find an identification of the individual that is in the video that has made this case go viral on all of social media and abroad. Something like this should have never have happened in anybody's household. However, it did. It was captured. It was given to an independent news company called the Daily Mail, and they decided to take this video and to publicly air it through social media, et cetera, et cetera. And so with that said, we're going to take a look at what the Daily Mail gave us. And we have to also understand that the Daily Mail is a business. And whenever capturing video of this nature to air it out publicly, we have to discern and be concerned about the reasons why they did so as well. And I'm sure everyone is in agreement with that. If this happened in your household, would you want to have something like this publicly aired out? Is one main question. Lady Queen, welcome. All in Tanks, welcome. Charlene Stevens, welcome. Evolve Maya, I hope I said that right. You asked some very good questions in the other chat rooms that I've been a part of. Some very good questions. So here's what I want to do, because I don't want to overload Vanessa Jones tonight in terms of moderating. I'll do a couple of little peeks up in here, so just give me a minute. Okay. All right. So for those of you who know Miss Lady Queen from our last live, our last 2 lives covering Classic's birthday, She is in the house. And if you're not subscribed to Miss Lady Queen, please do, because she is covering the Orrin and Orson West case, classic and sincere. 2 boys missing out of California since December 21st of 2020. So, Miss Lady Queen, I have blessed you tonight as a moderator. If you notice, you have graduated. All right. All right. So the first step in tonight's live I'd like to get into is preparing you to see what you're going to see with me. You've seen it with many other content creators. AB has covered it on his channel. AV Watchman has covered it on his channel. Molly Go Lightly has covered it on her channel. Tiffany Marie has covered it on her channel. I can name a number of other content creators that have covered it exclusively on their channel. And much love and appreciation goes to them for doing so, because this is what's created the dialogue on YouTube and social media. And a lot of people have their eyes on this case, and I'm glad you do, because we're about to get into something that needs critical thinking and critical eyes on it. Okay, G Money is in the house. Welcome. Iris Rose, welcome. Jennifer Thearist, welcome. I hope I said that right. You guys got some unique handle names. All right. So with that said, I will begin tonight's live by obviously going into some information with you. So let us do that. And give me a moment, and I will return. Okay. We have to throw up our disclaimer here tonight, because we will be sharing information that has been collected on the internet, on YouTube, and elsewhere collectively. And copyright disclaimer under the Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Now, for nonprofit, educational, and personal use, tips the balance in favor of fair use. And there is our notice. So with everyone coming in, welcome. Resurrection Rags, welcome. Kathleen, welcome. Okay, what I'm going to do is to prepare each and every one of you. We're well over 120 people, and that number is going to keep climbing. This is a very special live presentation of the information pertaining to Cass Gernon out of Dallas, Texas. 4-year-old boy who was taken from his bed in the middle of the night and was killed and found the next morning by a jogger in the neighborhood I'm not going to go over the particulars of the story because everyone has been able to cover that information. What we're going to do is to take a look at what's most important. And what's most important right now in tonight's live, being that everyone has a paper and pen right next to them, is to cover some information about yourself. That would be the first part of tonight's live presentation. We're going to be covering information about how you see things, which is important. How you see a thing represents a meaning of that thing to you. And once you have the meaning of that thing to you from how you see it, you'll be able to define it and speak and articulate and communicate that thing that you see. And this is all based on your perception. With that in mind, let's take a look at a couple of items to get us prepared for tonight's live. Before you is a picture. And based on your perception, I'm going to give everyone just about a minute to cover what they see. If you can write down 5 things on your paper as to what you see, please do so. I've used this model for the Kanika Jenkins case when it comes to perspective. This case is also just as important in regards to perspective as the Kanika Jenkins case was and still is. But write down 5 things that stick out to you the most when you look at this picture. What do you see? What does your mind's eye tell you? Okay, Rand said she sees an old lady. Ann says, a witch, LOL, with a big nose, LOL. A man in a fur coat with a scarf over his head and nose is cropped. Gail Thornberry, welcome. That's right. Post it. Post what you see. At least one of your ideas. Post what you see. Old lady, young lady. I see a headband, nose, hoodie. Young lady, old lady. Old lady. I see an old lady. I see a lady. I see an old lady holding a dog. A person wearing a fur coat. Young lady looking away. A witch. A grieving lady with no teeth. I see both young and old. I see a lady side profiled. I see a black hat with a feather. I see both ladies. I see a classy woman. You see what it is you see. And if you look at all of the comments in the chat, how similar they are to a number of people, and how different they are to another group of people. But you do see what you see. And everything you see in this picture means something. You define what that means. You begin to process that meaning, and then you're able to communicate, just as you did a second ago in the chat. Most people see 2 women, one young, one old. Which do you see first? Correct, Leah. Perception. But it can be changed. Correct. Ooh, Leah. You get a big platinum star for saying that. Your perception can always change, and it's based on what you see. Your answers are correct. Whatever it is you do see, You see it. The longer you look at it, the more defined it becomes. And the more defined it becomes, the better you'll be able to understand it. Makes sense? Good. So far, so good. Let's move on. Next picture. What do you see? Yes, I did, Sweet Pea. I was just telling everyone I did this for the Kanika Jenkins case. What do you see? Someone says two faces. Nancy, thank you. Hi, Barbara Kelly. Two people looking at each other. Someone says a vase. Long pointy nose. Bottom of the vase. Two faces. Someone sees a candlestick. Someone sees a cup. Two bald people. Two faces. A mirrored profile. Two faces in a glass stem. Two faces facing each other. Two profiles in a vase. Bottom of the table. A wine glass. A vase and two faces. A white trophy or vase. Your perception is telling you the truth. Which do you see first? Two faces? A white vase? Could it be a chalice? Could it be a cup? Could it be a candle holder? The colors you see are important, if there are any. Hello, Lisa. Lisa C. Two faces, a vase, two faces first, two faces. Mary says a table leg, black and white. Two silhouettes, then a base of an item. Okay. Your perception defines what you see. And all of what you see is the truth to you. Whatever it is you do see, it is your truth. There are no incorrect answers here, just perception. Very good. Let's move on. Now tell me what you see. We're almost through with the exercise. Now tell me what you see. Is it upside down or is it right side up? Is it sideways? Tell me what you see. How many items do you see? How many people do you see? How many stairs do you see? How many windows do you see? How many doorways do you see? Are they going up or are they going down? Are they tilted? Are they slanted? Are they right side up? Are they inside out? This is so important to begin preparing your mind for a crime scene, because what you are about to see will begin stimulating you to see other things that you didn't see the first time. And it's all based on your perception. Sometimes when we look at things, there is a deception in your perception. And the thing to do with that is to eliminate the deception of your perception and to perceive the reality as is. And making sure that you see what it is you see as your reality is the exercise in this case. You all are doing very good. Let's move on. Perspective means how you see things and think about things. What do you see when you first look at this picture? Some people see a vase, some people see two faces. It can be helpful for us to remember that we don't always see the full picture at first. Case in point. And so tonight, taking a look at the Gernon case, the video surveillance footage that we're about to walk through, now you're ready. You will begin to see things that you did not see before. I'm going to walk you through it as I've done on a number of occasions, and each time you do, you will see something different. Our perspective tonight is to do our very best to make an identification as to the intruder that entered Cash and Carter's bedroom, a makeshift bedroom that was put together by the Sherrod family for the boys. Now let's just do one more. Let's just do one more so that we can begin thoroughly. Now, answer the question. What do you see? What do you see? Blue Ladybug says 4. Michelle B says 4 boards, 4 beams, 3 and 4 posts. Blurry lines, white. First 2 faces. 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4 and 3, 4 then 3, 3 and 1, 4 on one side, 3 on the other, 4 logs, 6 boards, 4 then 3, 3 beams. That's right, Nancy. Your perception can also be an optical illusion. It also looks like 2 people from YouTube. Well, not looks like them, but 2 people arguing like they do on YouTube. Okay. So we're done with this exercise to begin to help prepare you for tonight's live presentation of our analysis walkthrough of the video surveillance footage that was taken regarding Cash Gernon. And keep in mind, keep this clearly in mind, and you can write this down or screenshot this if you'd like to. Everything we hear is an opinion and not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective and not the truth. And Marcus Aurelius said this, he knew exactly what he was talking about, because that's what we hear about this case, as well as all the other cases that we cover as content creators on YouTube. We hear opinions, we try to get to the facts. We have some facts, but yet mixed with opinion. We have perspective, but not the truthful perspective. And we go back and forth and so forth and so on and so forth and so on and so forth and so on. And it ends up mixed up and winding up in cases like this. Okay, so tonight, once again, this is what we're going to be taking a look at. Thank you, everyone, for doing that little exercise with me. It does prepare you for your notes to come, and it will give you the perspective as to what you saw the first time, what you saw the second time, but now, tonight, what you see tonight will really improve what you saw the first, second, and third time. We know where this is. We know the location of where this is. We know who's involved in where this is. I want to welcome everyone. And now we will begin tonight's session of analyzing this video clip and getting discernment, distinction, and clear-cut answers. I was asked to do this by a content creator's mother who said, John, if you'd go live and you can do this kind of a walkthrough and keep it short and simple and brief, oh, that would be wonderful. And I took her advice. So I'm going to be breaking this up into segments, as I promised. Much love goes out to that content creator's mom, and she knows who she is, from John Q. All right, so without any more further ado, I'm going to come back and we will begin. Okay. To begin our session, we're going to queue up tonight's video. Let's see if I can go to screen share where I had it. I had this all lined up. Just give me a moment. I'm just lining it up. It's going to buffer a little bit, but we'll just give it a little time. You know how StreamYard works. Okay, I'm glad everybody's on board tonight, covering this information. Okay, I think we're almost about ready. Now, I'll widen it up. Obviously, you can see this is the first phase of the night vision video that was taken by the Daily Mail, that was given to the Daily Mail, let me correct myself, by the family members that this incident had occurred. So what we have here is exactly what the Daily Mail wants us to see about this case. As part of one of the most crucial parts of the evidence that was given in this case. A lot of the other evidence in this case is trailing along and coming out, but this was the very first piece that we've been given. This is something of a visual that we were given. And so just by you taking a look, a careful look, I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes to become oriented with this seen? I'm going to ask you certain questions, and then I'm going to have you write your answer on your pad. What do you see? What do you now see, since you are ready? What color do you see? How many people do you see? How many items do you see? What is the angle you see? How many windows do you see? Is there any electrical appliances in this picture? How many curtains do you see? Are there any items on the floor that you see? The young person standing in the video, still object that you see, describe him. How old is he? What color is his hair? Can you identify this boy? Write it down. Write it down. Okay. All right. So now we're going to walk through this video at normal speed as you first saw it. And then as an investigator, I want you to capture everything that you see and write down as fast or as quickly as you can exactly how you would report this to authorities if you were the one that had to report it. Okay? All right. Now that we're ready, let's begin. Do you hear audio in this video? Write down your answer. Can you hear anything in this video right now? Can you imagine the temperature in the room right now?
This is the new Ember Wave. It's a wristband.
Can you identify what you see in the video right now? Can you imagine smelling what it may smell like in the room right now? Is the room cold or is the room hot? What do you see this individual doing right now? Watch everything. Okay. For some of you taking a look at this for the very first time, welcome to the Gernon case. For those that have seen this a number of times, you have come to your conclusions as to what it is you see, who it is you see, what happened in this room that you saw. Understand what happened afterwards, and so forth. We are not talking about any other information other than the information you just received from this video clip. That's it. I want you to isolate everything else. Because when we're done here tonight, you will have seen something you haven't. I'm going to change speed. So that we may walk through this video together. Everybody ready? Type a 1. In looking at a crime scene, such as the one that you have just witnessed, and taking a look at all information to make sure that other people who are communicating what they seen, what they heard, what they said, what he said, what she said, what they said, what we said, all of that now goes out the window because it's what you are going to do for yourself tonight and know how true that information is. Okay, thank you. When I look at a crime scene as such as the one that I've looked at in the Kanika Jenkins case and was covering that information on my channel, I was able to look at a lot of different things, learn a lot of things I didn't know as a parent and as a grandparent when it comes to situations and circumstances such as the one we have just got finished viewing moments ago. And I said, if this was any member of my family, and I had to take a look at something like this for myself, so with my eyes and with my mind and with my heart and with my spirit to feel what was going on, how it went on, who it went on with, and so forth, I'd want to know the truth. The way to get to the truth is through a lie. History tells us this. This is the only way to get to the truth is if the lie is before it. And here, hence, have we heard lies in this case? Yes. Now we have to work through the lies to get to the truth, because there is truth here. It's always been here in plain sight. With that said, let's begin our walkthrough. Once again, I want you to notice color. What color is the little boy? I'm going to be very specific. What color is his hair? Is it black? Is it brown? Is it amber? Is it an autumn color? We know this young boy happens to be Carter, going to bed. We notice that his brother is already in bed. Most of you have kept your eyes on Cash. Most of you have watched Carter. Most of you have watched the windows. Most of you have watched the floor. Most of you have seen the lighting in the room where this took place. Let us begin the walkthrough. As you can see, Carter is now entering the crib. On the very right-hand side of it, but now we also notice another thing. We also notice that a camera has been activated in the room. By Carter entering this room, he automatically activated a video surveillance camera. Approaching the crib as he did on the right-hand side, we see how he enters the bed. Right leg up, then the left leg. He gets into position, his favorite spot. He gets the blanket, his favorite blanket, and begins to nuzzle himself into bed to go to sleep. What time could this be? What time was stated? How long did it take him to go to sleep? Okay. And as you can see from the video, we're only 18 seconds in out of a 3-minute and 57-second video. How much information did you just capture? Let's continue. We just saw a camera edit. It went in and out at the 19-second mark. We begin to see something in the lower left-hand corner of the video screen, and it appears to be a motion now entering the room. This motion is an individual. What do you see? Identify what you see. I want a possible height. I want you to identify weight. I want you to identify color of skin. I want you to identify clothing. I want you to identify the color of the clothing as they appear to you in this video. Walking through now. And I'm going to go through this step by step, frame by frame. How tall is he now? What does he appear to look in terms of height, weight, cadence? What is he wearing? How tall is he from the ceiling down? How tall is he from the floor up? What is the waist size of his trousers? What is the size, length of his jacket? What is the object that he holds in the back of his body? What color is it? Has anything moved from the floor? Do you see anything else that you didn't see before? What color is his hands? What color is his face? How is his hair? What color are his shoes? Y'all are doing fine. Let's continue. Now we see him approach the boys, approaching the crib, because he is there with a purpose. Right foot, left foot. Do you see anything behind him? Is something dangling from the backpack? Is something dangling from his pockets? Does he have on black socks or white socks? Is there a headband around his head? How tall is he now? What is his possible shoe size? How tall would you say he is to the air conditioner? How tall would you say he is to the windows? How tall does he stand over the crib? Watch carefully. What do you think he's thinking? Why is he standing there? Did you see that insect? Did you see that insect cross the room? I did. What color is he now? What is he wearing? What do you think he's looking at right now? Did he hear something? Have the boys moved since he's been there? Has Carter moved since he's been there? Pay attention. What color do you think his hair is? How long do you think his arms are? Has any object in the room moved since he's been there? Do you see any shadows? Remember, you see what it is you see. In your own mind, seeing him stand just the way he is, what do you think is going through his mind? Why is he looking up? Is this Darian to you? Is this Cameron to you? Or is it someone else? Do you believe this video is edited? What color do you see now? Who is the person standing in front of you? What's running through his mind? Do you think he's standing there contemplating what he's getting ready to do? Does this show intent to you? How tall does he look to you now? Any objects moving in the room? What do you think he sees? This is the second time he's looked in your direction. What do you feel or think he sees? If you were him, what would you be looking at? How do you see him now? What color are his clothes again? Is there anything else going on in the room that you see? What size pants do you think he's wearing? What may be in that backpack? Is it flat? Is it full? Is there anything else in the back of his jacket that you see? Is it an emblem? Is it a sticker? Is it flat? Is it full? How tall is he to you? How far is he from the kids? What is going through his mind? Has Cash moved? Has Carter moved? How many pounds do you think he weighs? Is this a black man? Is this a white man? What do you see? You're the investigator. Now see what you thought you saw before. Now, again, is there anything in addition you want to add to your list? Did you see another edit? Watch his movements. Watch his feet. Pay careful attention to what part of his body he's using the most. Is it the left side? Is it the right side? Could this person be ambidextrous? We know that this person now has made contact with the blanket. Is he wearing any gloves to you? Could there be DNA on that blanket now? What else, since he's entered the room, may have contained DNA from him? Watch carefully. Is there any sound you hear from this video? Now, how tall does he look to you? Has anything changed since he entered the room? Is there any pixelation in the video while this is running? What caught his attention? Many of you have specified a second party being at the same place, the same time, but in a different area near the house, being on the outside. Did you really see someone on the outside? Is he looking at anyone on the outside? Or is he looking at something else? Things keep getting his attention somehow. What's getting his attention? There's no one there. However, most of you have said that there was some kind of light that is flashing outside that window, possibly indicating an individual or a second party that may be present at that location in the window behind the curtains. These are good assumptions. But right before you, as you look at this screen, do you really see anyone? Do you really see anyone there? Let us continue. He steps forward with his right leg. He begins approaching Cash, bending forward. Is there anything in the window now? Is there anything on the floor moving? Is the air conditioner on or off? Has the color of the curtains changed? It's easy to see what intent looks like because you're looking at it right now. This is the fourth time he's touched his glasses. And another edit and video dip in the footage. He's being very patient, very cautious. Body and physiology, range of motion, all of this plays a very important factor in studying this video footage tonight. For a person who is looking to take something from someone else, most thieves would have done it and got out of there already. This is a different case. He approaches Cash again. He checked on Carter to see if he moved. And now he's ready to make his decision. Putting both his right and left hand under Cash's arms, he begins to lift, swing with the left leg, and then twist and pull him out. How many pounds do you think Cash is? What do you see now? What color is Cash? What color is our individual? Can you make out the hair? Can you make out the jacket, which has already been identified as an Adidas jacket? Is it the color they said it was? Or is it a different color? What color are his hands now, being under Cash's arms? How tall do you think Cash is? What color are Cash's underwear? What color is his pants again? Is the backpack full or flat? Does it appear that it has something inside of it or empty? What color is his socks now? What color is his shoes now? Here we go step by step. Where's Cash's arms? Close to his body? Elbows tucked? Hands around his waist? Or hands up? Is his head tilted up? Slightly down? Or is it drooping? Does this picture give you the indication that Cash is alive or dead? What about now? What color is the intruder? How tall is Cash again? Is any part of Cash's body touching his at this point? Is his head touching his head at this point? Is Cash's back touching the fabric of his jacket at this point? Clearly, DNA would be on his hands, around Cash's torso, chest and upper underarms at this point if he's not wearing any gloves. Is Cash's left leg touching his right leg? What size are those pants again? What color are those glasses again? Do you think DNA could have transferred in this transition? Has Carter moved since the picture frame you see before you has been taken? Were there any lights in the window then? Are there any lights in the window now? How does Cash look to you now? The position of his head now. The length of his body now. The color of the intruder's jacket now. The color of the intruder's pants now. The skin color of the intruder. The height of the intruder. What do you see now? All of these fine points you have just considered tonight and taking notes on. Have you heard anything during the time we began this video that was different the second time from the first? Do you see anything different now? Is this what everyone was talking about? This little white dot that's showing up in the window? Do you really see anyone there? We're going to try to answer that question tonight. Has Carter moved yet? Take a careful look. Keep watching. Keep watching. Boom. Okay. We've just completed one of the most important reviews and analysis breakdown of the night vision crime that took place. You've all done a magnificent job in your heightened awareness of your perception now. You did catch many things during that walkthrough that you didn't catch before. And each and every time you do, you will see more. And at the very end, someone just said Carter is moving. That is a correct answer. He was moving at the very end of that clip. Let me break away from this because we have to now go back and put together a very important piece of information. And thank you for hanging in there with me regarding that video walkthrough. This is important. We have to ask ourselves these questions because we want to know the answer to get to the truth. Remember, lies are always in front first. Okay, let me see if we can. I'm going to take this out to actually go back. Just bear with me a second. We're almost done. Hope everybody is hanging in there with me. Okay. In asking yourself a question and reviewing the video now, as you've done with me just moments ago, you have to ask yourself what kind of a camera takes video that way. Why does the camera take the video in the way that it did? When most of us have seen video after video after video after video of different videos, and the camera quality is more than better than what we've just seen it. So we have to ask ourselves, what kind of camera did Monica Sherrod have in the boys' rooms that night? Because when you mention the word camera, you know, are we talking about something pricey? Does that look like high quality surveillance? Let's take a look. I was able to identify the camera. I hope I did that right. I hope I didn't lose you. Okay. Trying to get the screen share here. Hold up. Can you guys hold on one moment? Okay. Okay, thank you for your patience. I want to go to that particular item there and bring it up for you. I don't need that to be there. I need to ask you guys. Oh, okay. Thank you for being patient. All right. So what we have is some information about a camera I was able to identify on a content creator's channel. This would be AB. He was able to find the information on this particular camera in text form that an ARLO video surveillance system was used at the Sherrard house. Oh, it's not what I wanted to show you. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. I got to go back. There we go. I looked up this particular camera online so that I could get a handle. I got to do this ABC stuff with this. Am I a robot? I had this all pegged out. So I got to do ABC. You know, they get you, you know, am I a knucklehead and all this other stuff. Da 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 da. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. They want it all. Okay. So now will this let me scroll? Okay. Thank you very much. We're getting there, folks. Be patient with me, please. This is an Arlo 720 security camera system. 4 wired free battery cameras with indoor and outdoor night vision, motion detection equipment. This is at Walmart, folks. You can get a system like this at Walmart. Many of the content creators that I visited with that was investigating the case identified this specific camera model in the home of Monica Sherrard. And as you can see, it's a simple unit. It's got a base port and 4 individual camera monitors, all fully equipped for indoor and outdoor video surveillance, as well as night vision and motion detection. And to cover this information and to know what this camera does, now we can see why we see what we see in that bedroom concerning the boys. This has a motion sensor here at the bottom of the lens, 2 LED lights at the bottom to indicate active and non-active. The entire unit altogether, you can see the price of it. So it is within reach of just about anyone. It has an affordable price point. And the specifications tell us a whole lot about this camera, make, model, and design. You can find this camera right on the Walmart. Walmart is a very popular store all across the country, and I wouldn't put it past Monica and or Cameron and or any other family member is a part of that household that they wouldn't go shopping at Walmart to locate and find a very inexpensive and affordable unit system like this in regards to home security. And obviously, as you can see, the features are exactly what appears to be the information that we've received on this case so far in reference to this camera equipment and monitoring system. 100% wire free. Place it anywhere, no cords or wire hassle. Certified weather resistant, rain or shine, hot or cold. Motion alerts. Receive push button notifications and emails when motion is detected at any time during the day. Okay. High definition quality. See everything in a more brilliant detail than ever before. Night vision integrated infrared lights turn on at night to shed light on the smallest wonders. Arlo Basic 7-day cloud recording. Your Arlo camera comes with an Arlo Basic service that lets you keep the past 7 days of motion and sound triggered recordings up for up to 5 cameras. Plays well with others, works with Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, and Stringify. Receives instant notifications, easily views past recordings, expand your security system, personalize the experience, and share access to Arlo, which means that these cameras can be controlled remotely. That is from an application on one's cell phone. So this helps us to identify what this camera is, what it can do, what it does, and what it has done in this case. So we had to know what kind of equipment was used to shoot that video piece on the video surveillance. Everybody with me so far? Do you guys pick up anything? You learn anything? Just type a 1 in the room. Just give me a 1 if you were able to pick up something from tonight's live in hopes to better understand, in hopes to better educate, in hopes to better get a feel as to what this case now is all about for Cash and Carter. Thank you. Okay. You can look up the rest of this information. Just go to Walmart, type in the information that I've posted into tonight's live, and take a look for yourself when you have the time. This was the most important information I wanted to get because I wanted to get to understand why the camera was behaving the way it did. Okay. Real quick, I'm going to go back to I'm going to remove that now. And I want to set up for some answers. Hang in there, folks. I'm almost done. Because there are some answers you're still looking for. I'm going to give you some. I'm going to give you some. Let's go back. Let's go back to the video surveillance camera we just saw moments ago pertaining to night vision. Now let us take a look at the day. With the daylight showing through the windows now tell me what you see. What colors do you see now? How many colors do you see now? How many objects do you see in this room? Were they there at night? Are they in the same place that they were at night? Has anything moved since you last saw it at night? Take a careful look, because with your own eyes, you now can see what you might not have seen at night now in the day. And now, continuing this walkthrough, let us now see who approaches the boy's crib. Let us now see what we really need to see and who this is. This is still in slow motion. Does this person look familiar? Remember, we talked about height, possible weight, hair, skin color, tone, cadence. Did he stand there exactly in the same way before? Is this the person you saw in that bedroom that night? Can you see him now? What color clothes is he wearing? Are those sneakers or boots? Do you see any jewelry? What color is his hair? How tall do you think he is? How wide do you think his shoulders are? Now, how tall do you think he is? Did he stand that way the night before? Is he acting in the same way you saw him the first time in the video before? Did you see the same profile in the upper head and face area that you've seen before? Now, what is his shoulder length to your eyesight? How big are his hands? Do you see any tattoos? Any other identifying marks? Now, what do you see? Stopping it right here. With the room lit up the way you see it is before you, and Carter's still laying down in the bed, and the position that you see him now in looking in your direction, do you think he would have possibly seen a camera pointing at him in this direction? Do you think he would have cared if a camera was there pointing in his direction? Does he look startled looking in this direction? Most people would have said if he did get startled, he probably would have snatched the camera off of where it was placed. However, he didn't do that. However, he is pointing in the camera's direction, isn't he? He knows it's there. Turning around, now what do you see? Is it the same physiology you saw that night? Is it behaving the same way you saw that night? Is the profile a bit richer for you to see than you saw that night? What direction do you think he's going in now? More to the right than the left, or more to the left than the right? Watch carefully. Was it more to the right than the left, or was it more to the left than the right? Completely out of picture frame now. Has anything moved in the room? Has Carter moved yet? Have the light in the windows changed in any way, shape, or form and color? What about the curtains? Have they been moved? Has anything in the floor changed? Or up against the wall? Or in the corner of the wall? When we take a look at a scene like this, we have to take a look at it in not a two-dimensional way. When I say two-dimensional, it means you're looking in an area and at a spot, and if it contains any motion concerning people or things in motion, you're taking a look at it for those two items at best alone. This makes it two-dimensional. In crime scene analysis, every crime scene investigator, and I am not saying I am one, but I'm giving you my perspective as to how I'm looking at this, looks at a scene like this in a three-dimensional pattern. When I say three-dimensional, we're looking at the floor, as we did in the night vision. We're looking at the walls, how many walls, the angle, how many windows are placed, how far apart, and the ceiling. 1, 2, 3. And in capturing a three-dimensional image, we're able to see everything that we need to see. And in this circumstance and situation that concerned the boys and what happened, we're able to see clearly everything in one scope. And that is in a three-dimensional scope. Let us continue and close for tonight's live. We just saw a video edit. Carter is now in motion. Let's look out the window. Sunlight is in his eyes. He stepped in the area that Cash was in, if you noticed. And he is looking for Cash. Watch him. crouches down, begins to exit the bed, left foot first, right foot second. And he begins to move. Do you see him moving to the right or to the left? Is he walking past those sliding glass doors that we've seen Cameron walk through in the walkthrough video that he did? Or do we see Carter doing something else? Was it more to the right than the left, or the left than the right? You guys are doing phenomenal. Has anything changed in this room now? We are at 3:30 in the video. We've only got a couple of seconds left to complete. Look at this room carefully. This is a makeshift room, obviously. And the way it was put together, it looked like 2 seconds. Whoever thought of this design and the layout and the placement of the bed and the toys and the items on the floor, basically is the person responsible for this setup. Who that is, we will find out. When crime scene investigators entered this area, there was a lot to go through. There is a door in this room that leads to the outside beyond these 2 windows to the left of you. In fact, the door is to the left of the furthest left window that still has the curtain up here. And then we see the window to the right of it and how the curtains appeared and how they drape from the rod to the floor and the items on the floor and the paint cans that were in the corner and on the floor, laid out next to several other items here, toy belongings here, other items to the far right corner here, under this window, not too far from the cabinet in which the camera sat, which captured all of what you see here. Do you hear voices? Are there any voices in the room now? How much time is it taking before the next motion moves? Is this a still shot? Or is this moving video? And here we go. You saw that? It's a quick flash, and it looks like and appears as though Carter is returning to the room from the far left-hand corner of the video than he did when he left the room, more to the far right. What does that tell you? Is there a secret compartment somewhere? Or did he walk alongside the walls to exit that room? What do you think Carter's thinking now? Do you think Carter saw the intruder the night before? Do you think Carter is trying to remember if he saw anything the night before? Is he wondering in his mind, where is Cash? These boys get up together. They eat together. They bathe together. They sleep together. They play together. They learn together. They talk together. They sing together. To see his brother now standing before you, wondering what happened to his brother, wondering again if he felt him move. We have just completed one of the most critical walkthroughs that you'll probably see on YouTube. And if somebody comes behind me, great, because then you'll see some more. But I wanted to take the time out tonight to share with you something different, to share with you a critical investigation of this video surveillance footage and the equipment that was responsible for shooting it. I wanted to share with you a different story than you've heard before on other channels. I wanted it to give you an impact of something else, additional information that you may not have had before, to take with you now to the next level of your look, your investigation, because all of this information is going to play a very critical part in the days and weeks to come, pertaining to what happened to Cash Gernon. Did the individual you saw in that room that took Cash out of that room, is he responsible for what happened to Cash? Did what happened to Cash happen in the house or outside of the house? Was Cash taken in a car, or was he taken by foot, and by foot alone? What route did the Dallas Police Department tell us, supposedly, allegedly, that the suspect took to leave the house? Since we know that the video surveillance footage does come in a package, we should expect more footage, because there are more cameras. You can buy them in a complete unit, such as the unit we looked at Walmart, and additional accessories if you needed additional cameras. But one thing for sure is a fact that lays down into this case is that somebody mentioned we have cameras. Not a camera, singular, but cameras, plural. Well, where are they? Where are they, and where is the video surveillance footage to those cameras? Are they external video surveillance footage? Well, we need to see that. Is there any additional interior video surveillance cameras? Well, we need to see that. I'm sure Monica Sherrod knows the answers to those questions. I'm sure Monica Sherrod has cameras she didn't talk to us about yet. Cameras that Cameron didn't talk to about us yet. However, we know there are cameras in this home. One camera has captured what we just got finished seeing. One. And so, everyone, I'm going to place all this information in front of you. I want you to continue your investigation in this case. Any information that comes out concerning the home, the people, the house, any information as to any other members of the family, they be biological or non-biological, Please pay careful attention. Keep your notebooks on the side of your computer because your work has just begun. Remember, I was asked to do this, and I take great privilege, and I'm humbled and honored to take pleasure in doing so. We're all parents. For those of you who have children, who are concerned about our current status of affairs when it comes to our society and how society is treating our children. If other people who are in authority are not going to stand up and take responsibility for what they know to be right, we do. We have to. You have to. And we have to make sure that the truth prevails. Because we know that for every truth you go after, you will bump into a lie first. And whoever tells you that lie, they are standing in front of the truth. All this stuff will break down. We're on it, as well as a host of other content creators that are on this. My hat and heart goes out to them for covering this case, because if I wouldn't have came across it, I wouldn't be talking to you here tonight. And so with that said, this is the first part, in closing part one, of a very serious, a very diabolical, sinister, and dark case involving the people pertaining to this story. Please pay attention to everything. I hope I was able to maybe give you something here tonight that will help. That's what I'm here for. That's the only thing that I can do. I'll take any comments and maybe one or two questions, but type a 1 in the chat if this was alive to see tonight. If this was something good to see tonight, type a 1 in the chat. Was this something good for you? Did you get something from this? Do you have more ammunition to take a look at this case in better eyes? Has your perception increased? Has your level of awareness increased? Has your heart grown bigger because of what you've seen here tonight? I'm sure it has. I want to give a special thanks to content creator Miss Angela from Everyday Shenanigans. I've been hanging out with Angela a couple of times on her lives, and she is the one who gave me permission and the privilege to share this information on her platform. I thank you, Angela. I thank you for your kindness and your great big heart and your bold courage to handle cases like this. Thank you very much, Angela. It's a pleasure to know you. AB and his channel, thank you very much for allowing me to connect with you and the information that you have on your channel. AV Watchman, thank you for connecting with me and all the information and coverage, not only on this particular case, but also on the Orson and Orrin West case, and all of the hard work that you've done on your channel thus far. Crenshaw Incorporated for covering magnificent information pertaining to this case and keeping her eyes and ears open with family members to keep this case alive. Much love to you, Ms. Crenshaw, and thank you for allowing me to connect with you. LV United We Stand, thank you also for your kind words and your due diligence in being out there, whether it be Bakersfield, California, or California City, covering the information pertaining to our boys. They will be home. I'm sure of that. God's getting closer, and he's going to pinpoint everything we need to know. For Duty Ron, for doing his due diligence as a retired New York police detective working on this case and helping us to bring more and more awareness with the billboards and the case platform that he has on his channel. Thank you, Duty Ron. Thank you. And for those that I have not had the time to mention here tonight, you know who I'm talking about, because you're the channels that are going live. Thank you. And with that said, this completes and concludes part one. I will be, as I said before, cutting them down to smaller bite-sized videos so everyone who doesn't have time can at least get a good 15 to 20 minute portion sat right before them, just to give them the information and the mindset to look at a case like this. And for those of you who are still with me in the chat, much love goes out to you for allowing me to do what I just did here tonight for you. This is not easy stuff, folks. When I first saw that video surveillance footage, it turned my stomach. I said, are you kidding me? And they put it out on social media? Who is this Daily Mail people? What were their interests in this particular case? And why did they take private personal information and put it out here on social media? What was the purpose of that? These folks are from the UK. They're not even here in America. Motives, people. Motives. Did the person in night vision have a motive? Did the person during the day video have motive? Compare the two. You got your notes now. Review the video again and compare your notes again and tie what you believe to be the truth into it and together. Bind it down and stand on it. Because the rest of this story is going to come out as it's been, because now we have a capital murder charge from Darian Brown for being at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people, or it was far more sinister on his part because he did this all by himself. He thought it up. He knew exactly what to wear. He knew how much time to take. He knew exactly what to do, when to do it, how long to do it, and how to end it. Now, do you believe that? That's up to you now. Hold the truth close. We're in for a rough ride. There's more to come. There is far more to come. We are already getting word from his attorney as to what direction he is looking to take a defense case for Darian Brown. The prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that in both night and day clips, Darian Brown is the suspect that caused the death of Cash Gernon. Excuse me. That's what they have to prove. What you've seen here tonight is just a small sample of what they have to prove. Can they prove it? Can they prove it? Can you prove it? Can you prove it? That's the question. Has it already been proven? Is this case a slam dunk case? We have to watch what the Dallas Police Department does next. What additional forensic evidence they come up with next. The first piece they came out with was blood evidence. And this was tied to the hoodie jacket, the shoes, and the black sunglasses, which we all saw him wear the night he entered the boys' room. Keep that piece of information with you, folks, because that is going to help you draw better information. When I heard that, I said, dark glasses, black glasses? I didn't see any. Did you? Now that you have the color tone of the night vision, does infrared change color to reverse color? Is black white or is white black? Infrared does not do that. It's not supposed to do that. It's not programmed to do that. It's there to record, and in such a way, in low light, very low light, such as dark room light. Hence, you'll need something in terms of infrared that work with motion sensors in order to capture what you saw here tonight. Just look up that specifications on that camera. You'd be surprised. But you be the judge. I've been able to cover with you what I can. I'll be back for part 2 within the next 48 to 72 hours. And we're going to go back and we're going to take a look at Cameron's walkthrough, the one he showed us through the Daily Mail. And I'm going to be able to answer your questions far better about what you saw tonight then rather than now. You don't want to miss that live. Come on back, because we're going to tell you how you were able to actually see the video surveillance footage you just watched. Much love goes out to everyone. Thank you for coming by, spending some time with John Q. And with that said, as I always say, be well and stay blessed. With Godspeed, I'm John Q. We'll be back. Take care. Good night, and thanks for coming.